this unit, I will focus on visual aids. I will introduce some main categories of visual aids and give some tips on using commonly used Aidroway tools. Visual aids are sufficient components of a speech. It's rare to use words only to deliver a speech successfully. We often say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Mainly, there are three categories of visual aids. They are first, three-dimensional aids. They are physical items like models, artifacts, pet animals, or people, real thing that you can touch, you can feel, three-dimensional. Second, two-dimensional aids like pictures, transparencies, slides, graphs, charts, video, film, computer-generated visual aids, maps, or even handouts. Third, sensory aids. They are things to touch, to feel, to taste, smell, see, listen to, such as audio-video clips. Okay, let me introduce them one after another. First, let's see some three-dimensional aids. Like model, it's a reproduction of an object, scaled up or down in size. Artifact is an actual item. Animal. Animal should be appropriate for the speaking setting. For example, maybe you cannot bring a dog into a classroom, right? People. Volunteer for demonstration of a process, especially you are demonstrating how to play guitar, for example, or how to play a game, right? Yeah, or how to cook something. People will demonstrate the thing they are engaged in. Secondly, there are some two-dimensional aids. Picture, such as drawings, sketches, photos, diagrams. If you use a transparency, make sure you know how to use a projector. This type of visual aid often makes audience associated with history or something nostalgia. Poster. You say, anybody uses a poster? Yeah, sometimes at an academic conference, like poster exhibition, or in a group discussion, standing in front of a group of people, you will write something on a poster, right? Flip chart. They will draw serious information on one piece of paper, maybe. You can write more directly. For line graph, it's best for showing statistical trends and displaying information in linear form. It can also compare two groups of data from different periods. Pie graph. It shows distribution patterns. But remember, don't use it if you have a lot of different information to depict, because that's hard for your audience to pick. Bar chart or bar graph. It shows comparison between items over a single period of time. Pictograph. It reflects symbolic or iconic meanings. Basic chart is direct and easy to follow. Flow chart, sequential relationships. Hierarchy chart, structural relationships. Map, spatial relationship. Boards, chalkboards or whiteboards, they have some interactivity. Handout. Sometimes, possibly, this is useful, especially there are a lot of people there and you want every single person to know the basic, most important thing. But remember, make it short and easy to flip through. You may highlight some key parts or points on a handout. Please remember, do not make your audience read the handouts only without paying attention to you anymore. Thirdly, sensory aids. Sensory presentational aids appeal to audience members' sense of taste, smell, hearing, or touch. For example, if you are playing a musical instrument, or you employ video or audio recording of waterfall, or feeling the richness of texture, you can use sensory aids. They easily motivate you to get immersed in the audio-video scene and keep your attention for a long time. But the use of sensory aids are often hindered by speech environment and the size of audience. People at the back might not see you quite clearly. The most common sensory aids are videotapes or film. If you introduce something unfamiliar or hard to understand by the audience, for example, like Meng Han's speech talking about a Danish kindergarten education, if people had no idea what Danish children look like, what Danish kindergarten look like, then she may show them a video audio clip. The clip can help them have a vicarious experience and save you much time to explain. If you want to use a clip, remember to check the presentational place in advance. Make sure that overhead projector or appliances work properly. You can play the clip. Don't let the clip run for too long, and this is a very, very important rule. Otherwise, people will only pay attention to the clip and forget what you are talking about. In most cases, when you present the visual aids, you need to direct the audience attention with matching gestures and interpretations. Now you know different types of visual aids. You also need to master the gimmicks of producing some commonly used visual aids, such as PowerPoint. There are some guidelines in the design. First, text. Do you know how many words you should show in one PPT? Remember, maximally, no more than 10 lines per slide, no more than 7 words per line, no more than 4 words per title, and use parallel wording patterns. It's easy for your audience to quickly figure out the logical relationships and the order of different contents. A recent trend is to use as less words as possible. Sometimes there's only one word on a large screen or just a picture. Simple sometimes talks more. Look at these 2 slides. Second, font. Use bold, large size, usually possibly 30 to 60 points, to enable your audience to see your PPT clearly. Try not to use more than 2 fonts per slide. Third, color. Do not use more than 4 contrasting colors. Analogous colors, which means colors that are next to each other on a color wheel, create harmony. Complementary colors increase visual strengths, like red versus green, yellow versus violet, and blue versus orange. Fourth, consistency. Be consistent with your use of color, font, transitions, and backgrounds to indicate the logical relationships among different sections. Fifth, visibility. Use wide spacing between various elements because it's easy for your audience to read. Anyway, in one sentence, make it easy and convenient for the reader to quickly get what you're talking about. Now, in the days of short videos and live streaming, people usually use a cell phone to shoot a video. I'm going to invite my colleague Hao Jingya to quickly show you how to prepare the visual aids with your cell phone.